Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is November 16th, 2025, here in the wonderful, lovely weather of upstate New York. Hello, Mr. Chris. What's going on? Co-host with the most.
Steve, what's happening, man? I'm just looking at the chat over here, and Walter Prohl says, live from New York.
It's Sunday night.
Oh, you got me, Walter. That's a good one. But, oh man, things have been going good in Kentucky. We've been having some nice warm weather last couple of days, but, you know, yeah, it's been cold before that. But no more snow there lately. But winter is here. Winter is coming.
Yeah, what the hell happened to fall?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're sorry about not having a show this week. Steve needed just a little break. And no, I was not working on the project. Actually, I took a few days off from it just to get my head not so wrapped in things. And I actually ended up working a different route one day, which was a longer route, but it was a nice drive. And I ended up just Wednesday night, I felt a little bit off and I was just tired. And when I start feeling that way, it's time for a little rest, a little break. Let the Squatch Detective recharges gray cells in his head.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, in case you're wondering, the gray cells thing, that is a Hercule Poirot reference. You know, Agatha Christie's great detective, Murder on the Orient Express, Evil Under the Sun, Death on the Nile, all great movies. As a kid, I grew up watching those.
Hercule something. What is it now?
Hercule Poirot.
Poirot. Yeah, that's it.
Belgian detective, not French.
Yes.
It's very upset when people confuse him that he's French.
The dude could tell you committed a crime before you left your own driveway. Pretty good.
But what a hell of a week. Let's say hi. Let's do the roll call real quick. Relic commenting over across the pond says, have a great show. We'll be watching tomorrow. Roy Longley, what's going on?
Roy.
Reverend Quantum Bigfoot, who is across the pond. Hello, my friend. How are you? Grant Rasha, good to see you, sir. Mick, the mighty Mick is in the house. Walter Kroll, what's going on? Karen Fisher, Danny Weeks, Tennessee Cherokee. Thank you, sir. Who else? We got lots more. Sandra Piper, what's going on? Sally, what's happening? Sally's in there. The Beatron in the house. Boris Kahn, the portal opens. Grunny Goo Goo. Lori Gibbs, what's going on?
Hello.
Jen, what's happening? And I'm sure her office assistant Baron is hanging about. Who else? Johnny, what's going on, Johnny? Good to see you, sir.
Hey, Johnny. Welcome.
The Susie Monster is also here.
Susie?
Good evening, Susie. Good to see you again. Can't wait till next year we'll bump into you guys. Mike Nation, what's going on, brother?
Mike.
Good to see you. Gary Johnson Sr., hello.
Hey, Gary.
And Habit Habituation and Bigfoot Investigation team, hello to you.
Very
welcome.
Cool.
Welcome,
Great name.
welcome.
I like that. Yeah, welcome. Habit Habituation.
So here we are on another wonderful Sunday, and couldn't have timed that more perfectly, couldn't we, with the music?
That worked out pretty good. Hey, there's Matt. Hey, Matt.
There's Matt. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, the music worked out just right. As soon as we got done with roll call, it ended. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Never happen again.
Oh, no, I'll make it happen. See, what you don't know is I have an eye on the thing where the meter goes.
Oh,
So
okay.
if I can get things, rolling at a certain time on the meter, I can end it perfectly. And today I actually managed to do that.
Good deal.
No applause needed. Anyway, so tonight, a topic near and dear to my heart. It is getting to be the winter weather, even though it's technically still fall for another month or so.
Yeah.
But the winter weather has hit. Going to be snow this week, I believe, in New York.
Yeah. Well, we had snow last week, so hey.
The higher elevations are screwed. They're talking about 12 to 18 inches of snow, like in Clinton County, New York, and the upper north.
Oh no.
But here, I think maybe we'll get dustings here and there. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna mute out while I pour my ski because I think this microphone will probably pick it up.
Yes, today.
Joan, get me a Snapple.
So, yeah, snow. Oh, does it snow over in the UK? I don't know. It always seems to just have weather there. I know it snows in Inverness because there was traces of snow there when I got there, but it was really weird weather. But getting back to on topic. So tonight I want to talk about the investigation process that I use in Bigfoot investigations. And, you're going to see just a very simple slide up there, and I'm going to babble. So,
Laurie. $3.
thank
Super
you, Laurie. We
Laurie.
appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
So, here is the dilly. After a number of years, from 1988 to 2023,
All right.
I was a real world investigator.
Right.
So I came up with process and how a process should be run to conduct Bigfoot investigation. And what I noticed is that there were some things missing from necessarily a normal Bigfoot investigations. Right. So I look at the Bigfoot witness as more like the victim of a crime, if you kind of frame that right. Right. We have our suspect, which is the big hairy biped. Right. And our job here is to see, does it fit the mold for the hairy biped gang, or maybe it's something else.
Right.
And that's what you do in a lot of crimes. Is it the same group that's doing this particular thing? I've chased down theft rings in my day, and I would, get reports from all over the state, different stores, saying, hey, this is going on in this particular manner. So then I have to kind of look at the store. Does the store match up with this particular gang's interest? Like, you have gangs that will go in and they will steal tools all day long. You have another type of gang that will go in and steal clothes all day long. And that's because they have their own specific outlets to where they dump it off.
Right.
Market it, sell it, whatever.
Yeah.
And when you really get involved, that's when you take down those centers down. And I've done that a couple of times too. I've taken down a couple of pawn shops. I've taken down a couple of, street corner clothing stores. I've taken down bodegas based upon them receiving, stolen merchandise and selling it. And the bodegas were really easy because I would go in like a shopper and I would see different store stickers on their products. Mm-hmm. Why is there a Walmart, sticker on this thing? Why is there a Phase Drugs sticker on? Why is there a CVS sticker on this? Why is there a,
It's kind of odd.
All right. And once in a while you go into a clothing store and you would see retailers' tags on them. How are they selling this for lower than the price of the retailer? Right. So.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a process that when you first get your initial report, you kind of have to tear it down a bit and say, does it fit the crime, or does it fit our main suspect, the 8-foot plus, 7-foot plus hairy biped?
Right. So the witness becomes the victim.
Correct. And it went. I mean,
and you're right. You're trying to get the information, glean the information from the witness to identify the suspect, right?
right.
Did he have long, pointy ears?
Yeah. Essentially, that's all this is a Bigfoot investigation. It is doing exactly that.
Yeah.
Very simple, but very complicated at the same time. And there's a bunch of reasons why, and I'll explain that. So, the first contact or intake. So, a lot of times, you'll get an email report. And so you'll have something on paper that you can hold up and say, yeah, this is a report. I have it in black and white now. So that's a good start. It's more than a start for most real world crimes.
Right.
Real world crimes, the first report you get is usually oral.
Right.
Right? The spoken word. Yeah. Then you have to get them to sit down and write a piece of paper as to everything that's in there. And that can be a long and arduous process. As a trained forensic interviewer and interrogator, it's a process to get them. If I'm not interviewing a suspect, a witness, it's very hard to get them to put all the pertinent information. So you kind of have to watch over their shoulder, ask them questions. Sometimes you'll even type it out as you go along, with your notes, and then give them, does that look accurate? Okay, you can sign that. So sometimes you do that witness report yourself. They're just signing their name to it and you're witnessing it.
Oh, Rev.
That's right.
Can't do that now. Come on.
Well, they're selling it to 1/5 because they've bought some non-taxed tobacco. Little different kind of case scenario. They're not fencing stuff. That's those bodegas and those pawn shops and those other clearinghouses. And you know why? It's amazing. Some groups will actually just sell the stuff online too, which was kind of amazing too. But we call them fences. That's the LE slang for that. Myself, I get the chance. I go to the Native American reservation and buy all the cigs I can at that time because they're 1/5 the price.
I live in Kentucky, man. We invented that stuff, so.
Yep, and there's grass. When I smoked, I got them for half price. Yeah, we get them a lot more than half price now.
Well, we're not condoning it, okay? No. Not promoting it, not condoning it.
Right.
No.
Good for you, Grant.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the best way to go.
That's right. Anywho.
What a weird word. I mean, I'm sorry. I know you want to get off of this, but bodega. Okay, that's a weird word. And I remember the first time I heard this was in the year 2000. I got my first trip I was a over-the-road truck driver. They sent me, because I was the new guy, I had to go to do some deliveries in the city in New York.
Oh.
And when I went down there, I was asking a guy, and it was about cigarettes. Oddly enough, Rev, I was asking a guy, I said, hey, where can I buy a pack of cigarettes? You got any smokes around here? And he said, yeah, there's a bodega around the corner. I'm like, what?
A bodega?
And a bodega around. Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
I said, what are you talking about, dude? So I'm looking for a business with a name, like 5 Star or Convenient or Minute Mart or something with 7-Eleven. But I was looking for something that's called bodega.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's just a name for one of them. And it's kind of funny. When I was contracted by the federal government to do food stamp investigations, another feather in my cap there. Most of the days I would spend in and out of different bodegas. Using my alias, using my undercover identity, which I had.
Men in Black.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I was generally man in very,
You were a government operative. Yeah.
I was a man in very beat up clothing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I was in the middle of bodega land and using a SNAP benefit card.
Yeah. I would fit the part. I always wear beat up clothing. You fit right in, man. I could go undercover.
Right? Yeah, I used to wear jeans with my hole blown out of the knees. Wear just a regular wife beater.
Oh, yeah.
The quote unquote wife beater T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Those tanks. Yeah. Yeah.
And
man.
No, I did not actually. I will say this: my undercover identity, my first undercover name was Patrick. Is when I used.
Oh man.
But
okay,
But yeah, moving on.
Weird. Yeah.
No, you would never. It's just a normal name. You don't want to stand out, so
Humberto Nussbaum. Very good.
So, I will give a trivia question out there, see who can get it without looking on the internet. But in the movie Jack Reacher, Jack uses an alias for the first time. What was that name? Does anybody remember that name? I remember it for a particular reason.
No, it's gone. I have no idea.
But no, I wasn't Patty.
If I wait like 3 years and watch a movie that I've already seen, it's like watching it all over again for me. It's like seeing it for the first time.
Nick, you got to see that movie. Great movie. The first one, great movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, nobody knows. He used the name Jimmy Reese. And Jimmy Reese was a second baseman for the New York Yankees.
Oh, okay.
And he went by the name of, his nickname was Pee Wee. That was Pee Wee Reese. So if anybody that rings a bell to any old time ball players, there you have it. But anyway, I digress. So again, we look at the first contact, the intake, the intake process. Okay, we have a guy that submitted a report to me. Let's take a look at it. Now, the first thing you do in any kind of investigation is victimology. And what is victimology? It's studying the witness. Who is this person in front of me presenting this particular thing? So you want to look, do they have any prior claims? So that's where you get their phone number, you get their email, you get all their information, you start running checks, right? And that's the very first one because, I can give you a real great example of a television show where the star of the particular show was so insistent upon checking the victimology of the person that the show got canceled after like 5 or 6 shows. He was done with it. I don't want to do this anymore. If you guys are just going to do, yeah. And that show was a show by actually one of my good friends, Brian Caulfield, was a show called The Demon Hunters. And it was on A&E.
Right.
And the last episode they aired, they went to this house. And the people were telling him, well, we don't want any fame. We just, blah, 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 blah. And then he found out that they were on all kinds of podcasts and blasting it on their social media and doing all kinds of stuff like that. And, we're going to be on TV and all this other stuff. And they've been doing it for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So Ralph Sarchi, who coincidentally was a retired sergeant from the New York City Police Department,
right,
walked out on him, said, I am not wasting my time. You people just want to get on TV for that. I'm not wasting my time. Right. And because of that, the show ended up crashing. But I digress. There was another case like our New Hampshire case. Remember a couple of years ago we did that New Hampshire case? It was a day before I got my neck wrapped up in that accident.
Yeah.
Well, we start doing a victimology search on the guy, and before he was into Bigfoot, he was in the paranormal, and he was taking pictures of all these alleged ghosts in windows, which was nothing more than pareidolia. So he had, he's just trying to get attention for himself. And when he didn't get attention in the paranormal stuff, then all of a sudden he switched over to Bigfoot. Starts off by telling me in the initial intake interview that, well, it all started when I saw a 14-foot Bigfoot over there.
He had a history of look at me.
Yeah, that didn't fare too well. So there is a process behind the magic that happens when you do a report. We look for people that a lot of times they don't want, they want anonymity. They want nothing more to do, like a true victim in any sort of crime. Right. We hear about the whole Jesse Smollett case, right? And regardless of where you fall on the spectrum, his career, he's an actor, and maybe he was trying to boost his, I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Mick. Yes. So look at things like that. I mean, real world examples.
Mick gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you so much, Mick, my friend.
You're too kind, Mick. Thank you.
So yeah, there's that whole dynamic. So when I look at and believe it or not, I've had that happen to me before. I've been on investigations where people have falsely reported stuff. And then you break up, and, a lot of it, you can't necessarily get him for falsely reporting. There was a guy, though, that reported a burglary to me once when I was doing an insurance investigation. And when I did the victimology, I found out he had been a victim of a burglary several years earlier. And a lot of the stuff on that police report matched what he was claiming today. Including the exact same serial numbers.
Well, that's amazing.
Well, that got him a few years.
Oh, man.
That got him a few years.
So, step one, when you're making the first contact with the witness, you're also determining, is this guy, like on the up and up, or is he just like, one
or gal,
right? Yeah, or gal.
Right. So, some of the things we do is, we search engine their area code, search engine their phone numbers to see if it pops up and anything weird or suspicious. Mm-hmm. We take the email, we run that through, see if they've been talking about Bigfoot for a while. Yeah. We look at their social media, see what they've been saying on their social media. We, another thing is IP address. If they send an email, check that IP address. I had this amazing Bigfoot encounter. I was in the Adirondacks, yada, 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 yada. Well, can you explain to me why your IP address is in Atlanta, GA?
Yeah.
Right? So that, that saves you a lot of stuff too.
Right.
So yeah, that's huge. So, you're looking at that. Now, the next step is, again, we talked a lot about the background check. A lot of the intake, you want the who, the what, the where, the when, the why, what time, when. And this is for recent stuff. Older stuff gets convoluted, and there's really not much investigation you can do. If somebody gets their purse stolen 5 years ago, or somebody has a theft five years ago, there ain't much you can do today. It's the same thing with the Bigfoot sighting. I appreciate that, and I'll add it to the collection of potential. I'll talk to them just so I can put a pin on the map.
Yeah.
See if they're telling the truth. If the story jives, if it matches what we know about our suspect, then we put it in there. Yep. Grant, again, VPNs, if they're using VPNs.
Yeah.
Trust me, at the time, I was, and VPNs ping all over the place. You'd be surprised that most hoaxers or most people that fib about Bigfoot stories, they don't use VPNs. They are very simple folk that see something and they want to make a joke of it, and boop, they put it out there. And hello, Bill, finding the trackway. Good to see you, sir. Yep. John Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks, bumbled in.
John?
So those are some of the
And
things that.
if these red marks are Bigfoot sightings on this map, I want to be camped out right in the middle of that Y there.
Yeah, right at the fork in the road.
That's where I want to camp out, right there.
It's a cute graphic. That's all it is, Chris. It
It's
doesn't
cool.
represent anything real. Sorry.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's not a real map.
It looks nice.
So there you have that. Let's go on to our next. So, okay, I'm sorry. Background check and mapping. You want to look and see if there are any corroborative sightings around your area of where this is. Could be a few miles, could be 5 miles, could be 10 miles.
Right.
10 miles isn't a stretch normally for our suspect. You know, our suspect. We need to look at the geographical location. Is it suitable for a habitat and thank you so much, Reverend Quantum Bigfoot.
Reverend, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys are too kind. Thank you.
Do you like y'all's Bumbles creatures? Bumbles bounce. All right. Who was the character in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that named the Bumble? There's a question for you.
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, what's up, Nikki? It's all good. All happens. You know, everybody can catch us and rebroadcast. It actually helps. If you go a half hour late, people will come back later on to watch the first half hour. Resulting in 2 views instead of 1.
I've seen that show. You know, Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rudolph Shiny.
Mick's got it. Mick's got it. Walter's got it too. Yukon Cornelius.
Whoop.
Actually, I think Walter was the first one.
Walter got it first. Yeah. Walter.
Remember, he used to take his little pick, lick the end of it. Nah, nothing.
Yeah, I was trying to click on something there, but the chat is hopping. It is. Exactly.
Okay, so again, you want to look at your map. Is this a suitable location? If their Bigfoot sighting is in the middle of suburbia, maybe a problem there. And we had seen that in what we had called the Mr. Mike saga, lost to Blog Talk Radio over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Where we did this. I may have that in archives somewhere. I might.
I hope so. Right.
I might. And I want to say it was around 2000, anywhere from 2007 to 2010, somewhere in that period of time. I think it was 2007, actually. And this, almost 20 years ago. And the gentleman's probably passed away by because he was kind of elderly at the time and he was taking care of his elderly sister. And he was a lonely guy. And when they mapped it all out, eventually, they realized it was in the middle of a suburban neighborhood. I mean, suburbia, where telephone poles, and then outside of the suburbia was a city.
Yeah.
So for one guy to have all these Bigfoot sightings and nobody else reporting of it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Sasquatch in Central Park in New York.
Right.
Not likely.
Right. Although there are other animals in Central Park in New York, like raccoons and possums, I believe.
Those are rats.
Actually,
They're
the
just so
interesting
big,
thing,
they look like possums.
yeah, I know possums kind of look like rats, but they're the only North American marsupial. Think about that. I don't know if you knew that they're marsupials.
Well, you know, I'm not really friends with many possums.
They don't bother you. I met in fact, a couple of years ago when I did a Bigfoot investigation, there was a couple of possum rehabbers, and the son had the encounter while they were releasing the possums back into the wild.
Right.
And he walked off down the road to do a little mushroom hunting, and there it is.
Dang. Well. Yeah, I think I already told you that was Sandy's first local wildlife sighting encounter was a possum.
Yeah.
She didn't know what it was. Never seen one before in her life, you know. What is it? I don't know. It's got big teeth and it's hissing at me.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Sounds serious. Oh. But those things, they are scary. I've stepped on one before, you know, walking across the field in the middle of the night. Yeah, they make some noise.
You ever see him play dead?
No, but that one I stepped on, I couldn't see. It was so dark, it probably played dead after he quit hissing.
Yeah, it's so funny. If you scare them, they just broke. And they stick their tongue out, too.
Well, the one I stepped on, he wasn't playing dead at the time. He was
No,
bad,
you stepped on his tail. What do you expect him to do? Be nice?
I don't know. I stepped on him and just kicking him around. I was like, what the hell?
If I step on my dog's tail, he takes a swing at me.
Oh, that thing's hissing, doing bad. I didn't know what something had me. I didn't know.
Yeah, we call him opossum, possum. You know, technically they're opossum. I tend to go to the slang and just call them possum.
It's a possum. It's a possum. An old possum. Oh, Gianni had one.
Huh?
His name was Luigi, and he was quite intelligent and really something. Very sweet. Missed. He was shot very sadly.
Yeah, they can be very domesticated if you. Same with a skunk, believe it or not, you can domesticate a skunk.
Well, in Kentucky, if you have a scrap pile where you dump out the leftover scraps from meals,
my God,
you have possums. Yeah, they come around.
Yep. Look at Nikki's comment. Put that one out
there. Nikki says there's a hilarious video walking into a possum enclosure and scaring at least 15 at one time.
Man, kind of like the crowd when I walk in to give a lecture. I'm just kidding.
Mick had one trying to set up a nest in his garage a few years ago. Felt bad. Oh yeah. Oh no. It was a pregnant female. She was looking for a place to have what do you call them? A litter or whatever. I don't know. A gaggle of possums. I don't know what do you call it. But
no, I've seen possums and they're young when they're out of the pouch and they're adorable. And a lot of times they don't bother you. They just walk right away.
And Grasshopper says skunks are mean. I disagree. My sister had one for a pet years ago. Of course, it had its scent glands removed, so it didn't smell any worse than a cat. But they treated that thing like a cat, and I think, best I can remember, I think it ate cat food.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll eat anything. I mean, they're possums, dogs, cats, and raccoons are all scavenger animals.
No.
But skunks, usually before they spray you, will stomp at you like that. And that's them telling you, I'm going to spray you if you don't get away from me.
Well,
but I remember being in the city and the amazing thing about possums and skunks and raccoons, you'll see them in cities too. And I'm sitting out in the back porch having a cigarette one day and when I was living in Troy, and I looked down, I thought it was a cat. It was a skunk. I looked down at him, he looks up at me. I'm like, how you doing? And he just kind of like walks, just keeps on going.
Well, that was nice of him.
I didn't bother him.
Right.
I do not bother, I do not bother him. But like I said, mapping very important in the process of doing that. So, of course,
we got to steer back on topic here. Go ahead.
So again, you want to pre-field planning is very important. You haven't been to the scene yet. By this time, I've talked to the person on the phone to correlate what they've said in writing at least. And if those two match, then we get into the process of pre-field planning. What equipment do we need? Can we set recorders up? Usually that's a conversation with the property owner. There's a lot of, can we set trail cams up? Would you allow us to put trail cams up for a number of time? And if you look at Squatch Detective's Guide to Field Investigations, you will see there is also some liability stuff you want to have out there, some liability waivers that you want to put out there, for both your safety and the homeowner safety. Some people are, well, if you go out there and get hurt, I'm going to be responsible. It's going to go on my homeowner's insurance. No. We have an agreement that if that's a problem here, sign this agreement, and you won't, and we will, we are not going to cause damage to your property and all this other stuff. And if we do discover something, and it does ever have a monetary gain, we'll share that with you. We'll make an agreement where we will share a shared discovery agreement. So if we come up with a DNA sample at a property and it becomes a big deal, that's a shared discovery. This is the property owner. This is the founder. This is the, so it's all into that. Very important to do that. The other thing, too, is I like to necessarily get a limited term non-disclosure agreement, so they're not calling XY Bigfoot Group, AB Bigfoot Group, CY Bigfoot Group to come in and stack them up day after day after day. Right. Like our guy from New Hampshire did.
Mm-hmm. Look at me.
Stephen Barcelo is in the house, the Cryptozoology Museum. Hello.
Stephen?
On the road to Gettysburg. Nice.
Right.
Love that town. Not necessarily even for spooks, just for the history.
Gettysburg. A lot of history there.
Yep.
Yeah, don't go through Philadelphia.
So, in field planning, that's the point where you decide, well, am I going to camp out there? Or am I going to do a night observation out there? Or am I going to set equipment up in the day and just leave it? All varies on what kind of activity you're getting.
Right.
I'd like to set some equipment out there first, let it go for a few days before actually committing to spending a long time at a particular place. Yeah. And if we catch something on our recordings that we can't explain, or catch something on video we can't explain, all the more power to go out there.
Mix it. Okay, well, wouldn't that be something, Steve? You find something and the property owner brings in Carmine or Dyer.
Right.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Well, that would automatically. Psychologically, I mean, you put that out there, it sounds plausible, but psychologically, it's not. Once you're in and you get them to sign all the agreements, you're in. But what else am I thinking about here? So you're going to need to, of course, what kind of equipment do you need? Is this, is this property that extensive that?
Yeah.
What I love about doing with private property is that you always have a safety net there. And there's people that will go out into the Cascades of Washington, or to the Dalles of Oregon, or to the Trusca Mountains, or but those are kind of blind. A lot of times they're just blind expeditions. There's a lot of sightings around those places. Like when I go up to the Dax, even the research area, I spend any length of time. I spend a week there. Luckily I live nearby now, so I don't have to. But I can hit that every night till 3:00 in the morning, go home, catch a nap, go back. I know it's not the same as being there, and that is definitely agreeable. Yeah. But if you're going to spend you might want to camp out on the property, in a remote part of the property too. So you have to consider all that as well.
Yeah.
But you're not going to commit that just on the report itself. That's after your victimology, your background research all comes back in and it's all clear.
Grant Rocha says, Steve, are you going to do an expedition in Kentucky?
Not yet. Not yet. I got so many dots on the map right now. I'm going. My ears are going to fall off.
That's coming, but it's going to be a later date.
Right.
There's, priorities. Priorities.
So then we have the on-site interview, and this is where you want to have somebody. I know this has the in the barn or wherever, but this is somewhere you want to sit down with the person, have a long conversation with them. Again, you want to make sure that you have, a nice quiet area you can talk to somebody. And you can actually start a conversation. And, I've talked about this before. A lot of times when you deal with, forensic interviewing and, not so much interrogation, but because interrogation has this bad connotation. Everything is basically an interview. We're not, but interrogation techniques where, you found some evidence and you want, so a lot of times this is just an interview. And you look at this, and actually, you went for finding the trackways first comment up there. Actually, there's a lot.
Yeah, finding trackway says actually there's a lot about using trail cams on private property, and legalese should be material captured. Should the material captured become monetized?
Right. And that's why in the ending of Squatchdetective Field Guide to Investigations, there's an appendix with that kind of shared discovery agreement.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that.
Right there in the back of the book, right, Steve?
Yep. A lot of people will say that oh my God, well, it's my trail camera, it's my property, and the person could turn around and say, well, it's my property, so
Steve has prepared the forms right in the back of the book, and all you got to do is just, I guess it'd be okay to photocopy them when it's Steve, or just.
That's why they're there.
Really hate to tear pages out of the book.
Right. But it should give you some baseline.
Yeah.
To what. There's a ton considered. You want to do a shared description, or, you can get an agreement too that says, hey, whatever I capture in here is mine. Is that okay? And a lot of people say, I don't care. Yeah, it's all yours, and then you just get them to sign, and you're done.
Well, yeah, it's not like we're all going to be millionaires studying Bigfoot, guys. But if something was to happen out of the world, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Well, my point is what happens if you go in and you get a video, and you put it up on YouTube, and it gets 1 million views. With that ad revenue.
$3.
That home, your $30 after taxes may come up for, it may burn the homeowner's ass a bit, saying, well, he made all this money on a video taken on my property.
Right.
So that's why you really need to consider what you do. Mick, stop saying stuff like that. But again, you want to get a baseline, and then when you start asking them the hard questions about the Bigfoot questions, that baseline should stay level. But if you start seeing strange things in body language and behavior, for example, blink rate, you start asking him questions about normal stuff. So how long have you lived here? Really, have any wife, have any kids? Ever hunt, ever like that? Nothing. Totally complete, and you're watching their reactions to these questions.
Right.
But then all of a sudden you start asking about the Bigfoot, and all of a sudden their eyes start going.
Oh, well.
Their blink rate goes up.
That could be they need to put their glasses on too, Steve.
No, absolutely not, Chris.
All right, well.
Absolutely not. Blink rate does not have anything to do with vision. That's
I disagree. 100%. No, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you okay, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know. You're watching for body language.
The baseline is fine.
They're not reading when you're talking to them.
They're not reading. Yeah, right. Exactly. The baseline is fine. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's why you build that baseline. Right. So when you start asking questions and they start to blink, like at a high rate, there's a flag, because they weren't doing that when I was asking them questions about how long they live. That's where it becomes really important.
So the beginning of the interview is to get the baseline for how the person reacts during a normal conversation.
Correct.
And then when you start asking them the detailed questions, that's when you can start applying the body language.
Right, exactly. You know, there are some tells neurolinguistically that automatically will flag things. And a lot of times I will listen to interviews of criminals that later on get charged, and you will, within 2 minutes of listening to them, I didn't have anything to, you know, as God is my witness, I didn't have anything to do with this. As God of my witness, I would never hoax anything. Those are the huge flags. I swear on my mother's grave, this is the real thing. Right? When they start throwing terms out like that, neuro-linguistically, that's a flag and a half.
I knew a person one time that stole somebody's, I'm not going to mention names, but they stole somebody's tax refund check from their mailbox.
Ooh.
And then when confronted about it, because they suspected who it was, she said that she swore on her children's life that she would never do anything like that. Until like 3 days later when they had footage of her cashing the check.
Yep. I swear on my life I would never.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are all over the top. If you were an innocent person being accused of something, you would say, there is no effing way I did this.
Right. Yeah.
And if you think I'm hoaxing, you can get the F out of here. That would be the kind of response that I would, expect. Mick mentioned a guy that had a blink rate. I knew a guy like that. And coincidentally, we called him Blinky too. And that's because he went like that. But he did that in normal conversation. So when you have somebody going like that during a normal conversation, what generally happens when you start asking him the tough questions, those blinks all of a sudden become stares. Totally the opposite. The other thing too is you're looking for head nodding.
Yeah.
I like, what did I just do? Right? The body language. I have no idea what I saw. I just, that's all normal.
Yeah.
Is it possible that this could have been, a deer or a moose? Or is it possible this could have been somebody in a costume? No way. There's no way this could have been a person in a costume. So what I'm nodding yes, but right. Yeah. So you look for little ticks like that, and it happens. I just go ahead and watch interviews of people that are lying under interrogation. Oh, you will see all of these body languages consistently, and being across the table from probably 1,000 criminals in my day. More than that, actually. I can watch them as I'm asking questions and watching their body. I've had people lie about their names, their ages, their addresses, whether they have any records, criminal records before that. And it's like so automatically, what's your date of birth? How old are you? I would ask those questions in rapid succession. What's your date of birth? Oh, blah, blah, blah. How old are you? And then you hear the pause. Because they're doing the math in their head.
Yeah, he's going to figure out.
Yeah, you're lying about your age. So a lot of these things are really, everybody thinks that eye contact is the big thing. It's not really, because I've talked about this before in the show. There are different types of receivers. There are people that are oral receivers, AURAL. There's people that are sight receivers, and there are people that are actually touch receivers. Your biggest group is your sight receivers.
Right.
They represent about 75% of the people that they look at you when they talk. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Then you have your hearing receivers, your people that hear stuff. And that's me. And they're about 20% of the population. That's me. I can sit there and have a conversation without looking at a person. Sometimes I don't. My head's on such a swivel. I have learned in my day, because my head was on a swivel looking out for criminals, I tend not to look at people sometimes when I talk. It's just a habit that formed over the years, and it doesn't mean I'm being dishonest. It means I receive my information from hearing. When I was a kid, I never took notes in school. Never. It was all memorized by listening to it. I absorb material through listening, not writing.
And Mick says, well, seriously, Steve, when someone asks me a question, if I need to think clearly to try to get the facts right, I'll look away from the person who's asking me. That's exactly right, Mick.
Right.
A lot of people do that.
Oh, let me think about this.
Yeah, right.
And when they look up, they're accessing their memory.
Yeah.
Right? Things you need to avoid is people who look down, people who get they cross their line where they seem very guarded. You're breaking that down when you're doing your baseline. You're getting to know them.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-sided conversation. Oh yeah, well I have a few acres myself, or I have a dog that looks like that, or you find some commonality and bond with them.
Yeah. It's all about the person. I mean, you don't have to be an expert to talk to somebody and, well, to get the feeling to where after you've spoken with them for a few minutes.
Yeah. And
when
Grant,
they start acting different.
I know Grant's occupation. Almost similar to mine a bit.
Yeah.
So you tend to look around,
Exactly.
you're always looking at your situational awareness.
Right. See what's going on.
So there's some things. And guess what? When you get a good polygrapher, a guy who runs a lie detector test, they essentially do the same thing. When they put you on the box, they ask you a bunch of baseline questions that, what is your name? Is your name such and such? Yes. Is your date of birth such and such? Do you live at such and such?
Yeah.
How did you have X amount of children? Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you're asking, do you own a car? And unless the car is involved in the crime, you usually don't see a spike. And they answer negatively. So there is a method to the madness of the polygraph. They're just not admissible, nor is body language.
Yeah.
But these are tools of the trade that you know whether or not to further this. I can't call somebody a hoaxer based upon body language by itself.
No.
Understand that. Same thing with the polygraph. You cannot base can I be wrong? Yeah. If somebody is interviewing somebody that's adversarial, right? You're interviewing somebody that's adversarial to a person. It can be, they can have very similar effects as being deceptive. That's why I frown upon the cops that swear and I know you did this, and they start slamming the desk and stuff like that.
Right.
That shit, pardon my French, that shit jives for the movies, does not jive in real life. Sorry.
And Grasshopper says, I never look people in the eye. That's very common. That means you're a vocal type person. Yeah, oral type person. You concentrate and you listen at what's being said.
Right.
And rather than the visual effects, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And
using this.
And it's amazing because so many people will get gripey about that. Like, hey, you're not paying attention. Well, you just said this, A, B, C, D, E.
Right. Yeah.
I'm paying attention. I don't need to be looking at you to hear you.
What do you need to know about what you just said? Right. Exactly. Gary Johnson says, how can Mr. Kulls see what's Bigfoot stuff and what is not?
With my eyes and ears and my common sense.
Yeah.
All of this, every investigation is common sense and a little bit of luck. Right? There is some skill in some other things, but to conclude an investigation, it's common sense and luck most of the time. If you have common sense, you know where to look. And if you look and you have a little bit of luck, you will find what you need to find to make that determination. It's always been, and as an investigator, you're an intelligence resource. You're not necessarily the guy that's going to go out and tackle somebody. You're the guy that gathers all the intelligence. And somebody else makes that decision. That's why I've always said that we gather evidence, we gather the intelligence, we give it off the science, and let them make what they do.
And I think Also, Steve, when you do forensic interviews, it's not going to be something you're going to be able to watch a few videos on and say, okay, now I can tell when anybody is telling the truth or not. It's something that takes years.
Well, it took probably over 100 hours of classroom.
Right.
Using the two different systems. Because I was trained in two separate systems. You hear a lot of the FBI talk about the Reed method, and you hear a lot of other organizations talk about the Wicklander method. I've learned them both. Wicklander actually worked for Reed, and the Wicklander model is more of a psychologically based model than Reed is.
Right.
But the nice thing is, knowing both of those methods, you can switch from one to the other pretty seamlessly as you get more experience.
Yeah, my football Sasquatch Wizard and Rocket said, yeah, my football coach in high school used to say, Rapper, look at me when I'm talking. When I try to look into someone's eyes, I can tell they're thinking about something else and it weirds me out. Yeah. Yeah, you're not comfortable looking at somebody in the eye.
But when I'm a trained interrogator, when I'm in an interview,
listener. Mm-hmm.
When I'm in the interview, I am a looker.
Yeah.
I change very differently when I get into an interview. No, it does not include that. Sorry, Mick.
No waterboarding, Mick. No, don't do that.
All right, let's move on because we got a lot more to go. So then again, you want to do your site walk. Treat it as a crime scene. See, the guy in the picture there should not be touching anything with his bare hands. Right? He's got his little camera there. He's touching something on the ground, but he shouldn't be touching anything on the ground unless he's got a not rubber glove, but a latex glove or, protective gloves.
Really can't see what's down there.
I prefer, we don't use rubber gloves anymore. Nitro gloves is the product we mainly use. They don't give your hand a funny funk, and they don't
maybe he dropped his Twinkie and he's picking that up.
5-second rule.
Exactly.
But so you want to do a site walk, you want to walk around, you want to look for evidence. And by evidence, you want to look for any strange depressions in the ground, which can indicate track or lay areas where something is laying down. You want to look at areas of tree breaks, not your twist and every your tree bends, tree breaks where something large has kind of mowed its way through a particular area.
Right.
So you want to do that. And of course you want to have your gear on you to collect any physical evidence that appears. You want to look at your fences. You want to look at your tree limbs where those breaks occur because there might be hairs in them. We have all these tree bends, right, Chris, that we see on Facebook every day by people that think they're in the know, and all these X's and everything. Yet nobody ever finds any hair on those items.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, when you look for hair, people think, oh, that sounds impossible. On my very second trip out to research Area 1 back in 2000, I looked at this tree stump that was covered with grubs. Mm-hmm. I looked down and I found a hair sample in the grubs. Something had been eating the grubs. So I bagged the hair sample up, or actually put it in an envelope, take it back home, put it under the magnifying glass. I had a really good magnifying glass at the time. Now I don't have any of that stuff. That got lost to a divorce. But you could see it was a red hair. It was a red hair with a black tip.
Oh, okay.
Indicating to me that was a fox.
You've been chomping out on them grubs. They may taste like cotton candy, but I'll never know.
Yeah, never know. Yeah. So carry some paper envelopes, carry some plaster, carry, a few bottles of water so you can mix the plaster. Make sure you bring a Keeson rod. And if anybody, I've talked about it before. I'm not going to show it tonight, but Keeson rod is a tape that actually pulls out at the 6.5 foot level, but it's got very big numbers and slots on them, and they're used for photography. As an investigator, I would use that to, show for any types of break-ins or accident scene reconstructions, showing pieces of material that were broken off a vehicle that I could put down next to it that may be able to identify the vehicle, or even discern whose vehicle's crap ended in what particular placement to confirm that the accident actually happened the way it was said.
Something for scale.
Correct. So you want to do that. See, Kristen, you thought I was going to be through this material pretty fast.
I thought 45 minutes is what I thought. Yeah.
And we're only at step 5. And make sure that if you find...
I believe this. Grant says most of those tree structures are from wind, snow, and other environmental conditions. Plus idiots trying to fool others. Well,
yep.
There may be some of that. There's a lot of the first part and maybe some of the last part there.
Right. Unfortunately, the real good tree breaks, and I have examples of them because they corroborate somebody's sighting report. These guys do break tree limbs, but they do it when they're traveling. And a lot of them are twisted because they're grabbing the stuff and they're just rolling it down.
Yeah.
And as they roll it down, some of them pop.
Right. Because you think about it, they have eyeballs they have to protect. They don't want their eyeballs poked out with a limb. Right. We do the same thing, but normally we don't really break things off.
Well, I see Tessa the Bat Mom has wandered in, and Study Sasquatch has wandered in. Welcome, guys.
Bat Mom, Sasquatch.
So there is a number of things you wanna look at and carry with you. The walkthrough and looking for physical evidence. No. If you don't have your gear, bring a roll
required.
Yeah, bring a roll of tape or some easily identifiable markers. Make sure you mark it on your GPS and crime scene tape the area. That's important. Put some protective ribbing or some kind of marker there and geotag it. That way you can get the proper equipment and go back and treat that with the respect it deserves.
I'll tell you what, something I have learned, if you're in the woods, and especially in the fall or the spring when there's a lot of leaf litter on the ground, if you find something, it's best to mark it where you can see it later. Because if you rely on your memory, when you go back, the least little amount of wind will blow leaves. And so that nice impression that you found earlier that you're planning to go back and cast later will not be there anymore. It's like, oh no, what happened?
Right. And you can always... remember to mark it on your phone.
GPS, yeah. If you got a signal, that would be great.
Mark it on your phone. If you have a signal, mark it.
Yeah. We live and learn. Have a good one, Trackway.
Yep, very cool. Yep,
Grant
use all trails.
All
or
trails. Yeah, that's cool. All trails. I'll have to look into that. I know I've got one on my phone, but sometimes I get a signal some places I go, I have a signal, a weak signal, and some places I go and there is no signal. It just depends on how many hills and hollers.
Hollers.
Yeah, hollers. HOLERS. Yes. ERS, not OWS.
Right. All right, next. Okay, then you want to analyze?
Where are we at now?
Analyzing, well, first is the...
Okay, step 5.
So we've done some time out there. We may have set up surveillances. Now the next step is to analyze your audio and video evidence. It's very important that when you tag your recorders, you tag them in and out. This is Dudley Do Right. It is November 16, 2025. The time is now 10:05 p.m. and I'm starting the recording. Then you go to your next recorder, do this tag the same way. The reason why that becomes important as you're naked ear listening to things and something happens that may be of interest, you can note the time in your book. So if you start the recording at 10:05 and at 11:16 p.m. something happens, you know to look at your recorder, and that particular recorder, an hour and 11 minutes after you tagged the recorder. Right? And if the other recorder is tagged at 90 minutes, the one that's, a 15-minute walk away, then you know it, 95 or 85 minutes to look at your recorder.
Right. Very good.
So it's, Reverend Quantum Bigfoot says it's the 17th here. He's a day ahead of us. Imagine living in Hawaii right now. I think right now it's.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think it's like 3 or 4 in the afternoon there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to living in Hawaii, but.
I would. It's all volcanoes.
Yes, but it's so cool. I mean, I guess once you got over being a tourist, it'd be kind of boring,
Right, and then all of a sudden, hey, that mountain's spitting lava and it's headed for my house. Right, I don't want any of that noise.
I love looking at that stuff. I bought some video back in the days, VHS cassettes about volcanoes. It was great.
Grasshopper says there is no time. Do you really know what time it is? Does anybody care? Isn't that a song from Chicago?
And he said that at 9:07 p.m. according to
there we are. It's 6 hours, so it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I said it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, Mick, I've heard that. It's not cheap to live in Hawaii.
They have to import milk.
And there are no Bigfoot creatures there. They're the little people.
Their dairy is imported.
Maybe you should go to Hawaii and start a dairy farm there.
Import all the friggin' cows.
Yeah. The Hula Mula Milk Company.
And that's the truth, Reverend Quantum Bigfoot. It's not cheap to live anywhere presently.
I don't know, man. Rev, I know you live over in the UK and stuff, but over in Kentucky in the States, it's pretty cheap to live here. We don't worry about money because we never had any anyway. So.
Yeah. Sasquatch in Hawaii, no bueno. It's not Hawaii is not part of any known landmass. It was created by volcanic activity. So that's why you don't. They burn easily. Are we talking about the cows?
I don't know.
Hey, we have a special on volcano steaks at the former dairy.
That would be terrible.
That would be
I lost my dairy farm to a lava flow.
It would be a very moving experience.
But the good news is we've opened up a barbecue joint. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. It costs a lot to live in Hawaii. It costs a lot to live in Alaska. I guess a lot of it depends on the shipping stuff they have to do.
Yeah, but every citizen in Alaska gets a check. Did you know that from their oil?
Oh yeah.
And it's not a like a 3-figure check. It's a 4-figure check every year.
Well, it wouldn't be bad to have some property up there.
Nope. Unlike the New York State inflation refund, which was only 3 figures.
Yeah.
But at least it's something. Not going to complain too much. It's something that I wasn't expecting, so I'll take it. Okay.
Audio and video evidence.
So yeah, and when you collect that evidence, you want to make sure you clearly mark the time and date. If it's audio evidence, you want to tag it. There are MP3 tags on it. You can assign a name file to it. You can assign the author of it. You can assign, any details on it. There's a whole little meta tag that you can put into that information block on the MP3 data. And that's important to do because now you have that evidence. You can look at it, see what time and date it was, where it was, who set up the recorder, et cetera, et cetera. That becomes evidence. Right. Same thing with video. Video is not so much, but the best you can do with video a lot of times. I'm not sure I even play with the meta tags on videos all that much, but on the meta tags and videos, you can put your time and date and, whatever information, and make sure you put that in a separate file.
Plus.
And the master recording. You want to, your clips and your master recording.
It depends on what kind of quality the video evidence is too. Most of the stuff is kind of blobby.
Right.
And it's not going to benefit anybody but maybe yourself. You know what I got. You know what you got. But you show it to somebody else and they're going to be like, what is that?
Well, this graphic actually came out pretty good. There's even a little handy dandy recorder.
What is it? Okay, yeah, I was fixing to ask. What is that little thing over there to the left?
That looks like an H4.
It looks like one of them little Ghostbusters things.
It looks to me, it looks like an H4, which is a Zoom microphone. There's H4. I have an H2, and then there are H1s, which look like a very mini form of the H4s.
Yeah.
I love the H2's ends, and that's what I use now going forward.
Yeah.
They have a nice protective screen over the microphones.
Sally asked, do we skip photo evidence? I missed it. I think that would probably be included in the video when it's
audio, video, photo evidence.
Yeah.
Here's the issue with photo evidence is that if people are popping out photos with some rare exceptions, like when we saw the one from Missouri, it was photo evidence for a reason. But if somebody is out on expedition and they get a trail, here's a trail cam photo, right? And it looks really crisp and everything.
Yeah.
Why nowadays is it a photo? I mean, I can understand 10 years ago,
right,
videos took up a lot of space on your cards.
Yeah.
Right? Now they don't. I can come up. I remember my old trail cameras could hold maybe about 25 videos.
Right.
My new ones can take several hundred.
Now they have these like mega big cards now. So.
Correct. And they also learned, they also got better at compression of the videos.
Yeah.
So they don't take up, and compression of audio, so they don't take up all the room on your cards. So nowadays, when I see people having these multi cameras and they're taking pictures as opposed to video, to me, it's kind of like, why are you taking photos? All my cameras now run video. If I put a trail camera, it's going to get video. And there may be some audio to go with it. Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of times when I see my guy and my known critters walking around, all you hear is the little footfall.
Yeah. And Sasquatch Wizard Androde says, Steve, I'm glad you just shared that because I never changed the properties because I thought that would negate the details. Thank you, sir.
Right. Yep, you can get in the meta tag and MP3 and just for and there, you look at a meta tag on like an MP3, you can, it'll give you title and you can say, or album. And on the album, you can say expedition, like 11/16/25. On the title, you can say 11, excerpt 1, 11/15, expedition. And then under the details, you can write anything you want. Okay, this was taken at 11:04 p.m., yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, you can do a lot. And, yeah, I mean, if people get angry because you're debunking evidence or debunking audio or debunking video and they get ticked off, I mean, I'll give you a good example. Last week, I had a gentleman who messaged me on Facebook. Hey, can you look at these videos? They have some very interesting audios. So when we got done analyzing them, I said, unfortunately, I don't believe it's Bigfoot for these reasons. And he was like, all right, thanks. Well, now we know. That's the response you should be getting. Years ago, right. I had, and I remember his name, Jim Rosick. And he had taken a picture at LaSalle Falls, Wisconsin, where his girlfriend took a picture of him standing by a creek bed. They were out and outing. This film camera, mind you. This is how far back this goes. It goes back to like 2004, 2005. And took a picture. Well, one of my guys, a guy by the name of David Gay, went out there and gave me this very big extensive report on what he observed. And he said, yeah, there's a big black cliff with a lot of some sort of black kind of slate. Right. That's on this on this almost canyon wall, I would consider it, just before. So this was the backdrop of where this guy got his picture taken. And then you realize that what you're looking at is the black of the slate behind the trees and gave this pareidotic effect that something was standing there. Right. The witness himself said, I never saw anything. I never heard anything. Right. So I debunked it. And we did a lot of stuff, too, because a lot of people, I was Photoshopped. Well, that's not true, because I have the index reprint. And guess what? I even have a scan of the negative. Yeah. Right? That showed that in the negative, there's the object still there. Yeah. Right? And that is completely right. You can put that up there, even though it has the P word in there. But you can put that Sally's comment up there. See what I'm saying? There you go. Yeah, they get pissed because they're either emotionally attached to their evidence and don't want to hear the evidence isn't good, or because they hoaxed it and got caught. Most of the time, it's for the prior, not the latter. If somebody's credible and they've got something they question, they've got some evidence that they want to know the answers to. If they find out that it's not what they thought it was, they're going to be happy to find that out. As long as there's valid reasons, you can show them, well, this is what it is, actually. Not something like, no, that's not Bigfoot because I say it's not. No, right. No, that's not going to work. And then, I never forget the guy out in the West Coast that was supposedly my buddy for years and had me on his podcast. And they tried to sell me that picture that was actually a screen grab of what you found. Yeah. And boy, the level of nastiness that he had afterwards, I just kind of, of course, he had his little cronies. He went back to his old cronies, at what's his name's place there.
Joan, get me a snap.
He went back to crawling back to him with this photo, and they were very proud to post this up until I debunked it. Then they took it down, and then they write an expose on me that like I'm the bullshit artist.
Oh boy.
Joan, get me a Snapple.
Yeah. Well, they were running with the photo,
They were, and they were running with that stupid National Park Service sign, which had been debunked on social media 10,000 times. I did them a favor by pointing all this stuff out to them.
I mean, what? How could you look somebody in the eye after running this photo of a screen capture from Bigfoot Fear in the Woods, a documentary, as the real thing, That's pretty bad.
Thank you much, guys. Everybody's giving me 100 points for.
Gianni said, "Would you recommend using drones to obtain evidence, and if so, which ones?"
Well,
drones.
Drones are neat.
But it's a tool.
Yeah. It's a tool. We used it in the New Hampshire. Alex flew his drone over in New Hampshire. Expedition there when we debunked that guy's claims. It gave us a better look at what was on the ground than what we were looking at. Right. But we could clearly see that from across the river. What we were looking at was the same thing. Right. but it did give you kind of a frame of reference of everything, which was awesome. So it's a tool. Unfortunately, there are places like in the Adirondacks in New York, you can't fly a drone. It's not permitted because they're afraid that if they crash, the lithium battery in it is going to cause a fire. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I can see if you're on one side of the river and you spot some movement on the other side of the river. I could see a case where you could send a drone up and go over there.
And that's what we did. Yep.
Check that out.
Exactly. Yep. So it's a good tool. Is it going to produce, the groundbreaking evidence? There's some cat out there saying, "Oh, drones are the way. Drones are the way." Yeah, well, a drone, even a high quality thermal image of a Bigfoot on a drone is going to come up questionable to some people, regardless of how, any picture, video, anything like that, it's going to come under scrutiny. And they're all going to say the same thing. It doesn't prove anything to science. We need a body. They even say that with DNA. We need a body. All right.
I don't own a drone, but if I did, I would probably glue fish hooks on it. And if I saw a Bigfoot, fly it into the Bigfoot, maybe hook some hair or something, or really make him mad.
Then he reels the drone in and crushes it.
Oh yeah, he's gonna crunch that thing because it's gonna make him mad. Yeah.
You'll hear me out there. That Bigfoot just crushed my drone.
Yeah, it'd be good to have a cheap drone. That way, you could lose it, no problem. But glue a bunch of fish hooks on it and crash it right into that kamikaze.
And there is 1,500 different models of drone out there. I know DJI is having a little bit of a problem right now because of some of the software they discovered on some of the DJI drones.
Right. But
that's why I couldn't find any at Best Buy. I'm like, where are all the DJI drones? Oh, well, they had the... Oh, okay. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to disparage the company. I think DJI makes an awesome drone.
Well, but the technology now is it's amazing. They have drones that'll fit in your hand, and these dudes are like, they got their phones and they do something on their phone, and the little thing takes off and does like HD video and surrounds them, flies, and then they can land it on there. It's amazing. We don't have stuff like that in Kentucky.
Study Sasquatch says Alltel makes a high-grade thermal drone. There you go.
Alltel.
Yeah, do they make it under 4 figures?
Who makes one cheap enough you could, glue fish hooks on it and kamikaze it into a Bigfoot? That's
Sadly, not many. All right. So I think we've talked enough about evidence. Of course, the classification.
Oh, here we go.
That's pretty easy when you get all your ducks in a row. You have everything. Now, let me go back to interviewing. It's very important that, like the victimology, that you document everything, that they said, okay, medical conditions, psychiatric meds. Unfortunately, you got to ask those tough questions.
Right.
And if people get offended by, listen, I'm just trying to make this as transparent as possible. If you tell the story truthfully, there are stuff you're going to come across nice, you're going to come across great, and you'll be able to verify or at least corroborate some of the things you're saying. We're not going to prove Bigfoot because you saw one or two or three over the course of a period of a month. But what we want to do, Mick, no politics.
No. And Rev told me I could get one from Temu if I wanted to put fish hooks on it.
And you got to have the crank to wind it up.
No, I would probably get in trouble. The wildlife people would probably say, "Oh, it will start a fire on the Bigfoot." Oh, that's terrible. We'll definitely check into that. But some of those little drones are pretty cool. The classification.
There you go. Yeah, that is if there's an approach, you can launch one, especially if it's a thermal one. But if you don't have a thermal drone, you might be fighting the odds there. Because we've seen lots of drone Bigfoot videos.
Yep.
I remember one group out west kind of fell for it.
Yeah. The other one with the Easter Bunny thing, or what?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Correctamundo.
Yeah.
Correctamundo on that one.
Oh man, but you know, all these great tools that have come out in the last 10 years, it's just it's amazing. And thermal is actually getting halfway affordable. Of course, you know, you can't go out and buy. It's still, you know, $5,000 or more if you want to play with the big boys, but
right.
It's way more affordable than it was. You know, that technology didn't exist, you know. But you know, a few years ago, like the technology you can buy for $300, $400, $500 now was $5,000.
Right.
So it's really
they're coming down.
Thing. Yeah.
And yeah, Gianni, nope, there is no good drone footage of a Sasquatch today.
No. But you know, using drones as a tool in the field, I think, is a great idea. You know, you're going to be a little trouble, you know, with the tree line above you, okay. But if you're out in an open area, especially like where Steve was talking about, on the other side of a river where you want to get over there and check something out, that's perfect, because rivers are not easy to cross. I mean, you know, we don't really want to get wet when it's 30 degrees outside.
Wow, look at that. FLIR upgrade is $2,500, but Study Sasquatch says if you go to the res, you can buy it for $640. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what he meant. I know. That's not what he meant. He meant that 640 resolution.
Yeah.
Corn Cops say, hello, welcome. You've been lurking tonight.
Thermal would be great for Alabama. Thermal would be great for anywhere. That's really
thermals
cool
are
stuff.
fine. Yeah.
I watch a lot of those. Well, not daily, but I've watched a lot of those thermal hunting videos where these guys are they're advertising these high-end night thermal scopes for, you know, hunters. And wow, I mean, it's just incredible. You can see the definition, you know, of the animal. It's amazing.
Good show, Reverend Quantum. Good show, Reverend. Reverend Quinn, in case you're listening audio only, Reverend came across with the comment that's at only $150 at the bodegas. That was good.
You're killing me, Rev. But it may have a Walmart sticker on it or something. Oh, man.
So we are at the 10:30 mark.
Nighttime stuff is cool.
Yep. So, you know what? For kicks, let's open up the phone lines just for kicks tonight.
Well, sure.
It's 10:30.
If anybody wants to call in, you know, you're welcome to, but don't feel obligated. But, you know, if you want to, that's what it's for.
So the call-in line is now tickering across the bottom for all those that are watching.
Grant says Stacy Brown Jr.'s father recorded the best thermal of a Bigfoot. I think, you know, I kind of agree. I kind of like that one. It's got more action in it than the squeaky, you know, Mike Green's thermal.
Well, I got to say, the late, great Bill Drain Guinness, who worked with FLIRs, he didn't like Stacy's.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I've heard that opinion a lot.
He did not like that.
I've heard that opinion a lot, yes.
Yep. But again, that's just an opinion. But, you know, he kind of had, I think he worked actually for a thermal company.
Mm-hmm.
So I could be wrong about that. I do not know for sure. So I don't want to go off brand. I'm only just stating what the scuttlebutt
Oh,
was.
yeah. And I have no idea what the subject was in that thermal, but
Right.
but
Right.
but far as the thermal and action, yeah, I liked it.
Truthfully, I liked what's his name was Joe Purdue
On the
from
show.
Wild and Weird West Virginia.
Yes.
Had that thermal where you clearly saw a foot step off.
Forgot. Yes, you're right.
And then the squeaky video, the squeaky thermal, which I thought was pretty good too.
Yeah. A lot of weird movement in the squeaky video.
I think the worst thing in the world Mike Green did with the squeaky video was he monetized it real quick. For the longest time it was monetized.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to watch this, I don't know how long it was, the whole entirety of it, but if you wanted to watch it, I don't know what the cost of it was back then. It's so long ago. But
I don't know. It seemed like it was
so
just a few
Reverend
minutes long.
Bigfoot, if you, Reverend says, anyone got a link for the squeaky vid? We did a whole show on that with Mike Green. Just go into the Squatch-D TV videos in the live section and just search for Mike Green Squatch-D TV.
Did we do that on Blog Talk or
No,
is that on?
we showed the video and everything.
It's been a while. Okay.
Let me see if I can conjure that one up.
It's been a while. I can't remember. It's not something we did last.
And it's not
month.
coming up actually. Great. I'm looking on my board.
Now, YouTube is not the first platform that we've been on, so we've been around for a little while.
This was definitely on our YouTube channel because Mike Green passed away, and it was a tribute to Mike Green. Okay. So let me just. For some reason, that one's not coming up.
The Blog Talk stuff is gone. I don't know if the paranormal...
Chris, 1,000%. We did not cover that on Blog Talk. 1,000%. Because I remember doing the thumbnail for it. Had Mike Green's picture on it and everything. Mm-hmm. So, but it was 2-3 years ago. So, it is... It is possible it might have gone through a name change.
Possible.
So that's why it's not showing up. Because sometimes I will go back and change the names on some of them. Jeez.
Yeah, Mick, we did the Blog Talk Radio for a while, and then we went to Paranormal TV Network, I think is what it was.
But then we went back to Blog Talk.
Yeah.
And
then YouTube. Yeah. Which I like the YouTube format. I do. I like it. And this is just like the Paranormal TV Network thing we had there for a while. But where you can show video and have chats and the chat room, and then you guys could watch the video along with us. I love that kind of stuff. Or if Steve wants to show a photo, you guys can see it too. I love that.
Yeah, you got to remember, we've been on YouTube since when, Chris? Do you remember?
Nope, no idea.
So we went on YouTube July 19th of 2019.
2019. Okay.
So we've been on YouTube now for 6 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around when we actually did this episode. And or maybe I did a video on it. Not sure.
I don't know.
You know what? I bet you we did a video.
But interesting stuff, though. And Mike Green, I think he used Zagnut bars to draw them in as, bait.
Ah, got it. Got it.
Corn Cob says, Google Mike Green, Squatch TV. And, the YouTube search is, I'm not knocking them, but they do kind of...
So the link is
don't
now
show up for
below.
us. Oh, okay. There it is.
Oops.
Is that the right one, Steve? I'll put it up there for anybody watching later on the replay. You can catch it. Right on
And
the
that
screen.
was July 26th of 2023. We did that.
Oh.
2.5 years ago.
I figured it'd been longer than that. It seems like a long time ago.
And it was on the videos. It wasn't. It was not on the long form stuff.
Right.
I think. I've been scrolling through my.
It's not coming up, Sally. It's probably filtered out from the chat for some reason. I don't know. We don't control everything that the chat does, okay? I don't think.
Yeah, this was a short-term video.
Yeah.
6 minutes and 13 seconds, done on (2023). So, yep. All right.
Was that after Mike had passed away?
Yes, it was a tribute to him.
Okay, but there was another. We did a show on that squeaky video.
I think we talked about it with when we had Julie Wrench on. Julie Wrench, she was the North Carolina investigator who had all those sounds from the Uwari, which is the same place Mike Green got his thermal from. And she was actually taking those thermals in Mike Green's area, old area.
Okay. Yeah, Mick says the chat doesn't appear when you post the show. Sometimes it might take a few days, Mick. I think they have to approve it or whatever.
I have no idea why that does that, but
there is a little bit delay. But later on, if you do the replay, you'll be able to see the live chat. Well, the recorded chat.
So if it comes up as a link in chat when I typed it out, just right click it, and click open in a new tab. If you're using a computer, and then you can pause it and you can watch it at a later time.
Well, it won't let me do that. Maybe not let us do that. I don't know.
Well, no, not while we're in the
Right.
our backstage.
I have a lot of other options here. I'm gonna ban user. No, I don't want to ban Steve.
No. You just need to copy and paste the link.
Yes, I'm gonna ban Steve from the channel.
God damn it. Wonder what would happen. I have to go into my settings and unban me. Oh, there we go. Sally said Mike Green tribute Bigfoot and pop right up. There you go.
Yeah. Great job.
Okay.
Yeah, the YouTube search, we should talk about that. It's difficult to find Squatch-D TV stuff on the YouTube search for me. I don't know why that is.
Corn Cob say it opened, right click. There you go.
Good.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know, Mick. I think YouTube has a division in Canada. I think so. YouTube Canada. But it does that for me too. When I look on the replay of the show, the chat, the first day or so, it's not up, and then I'll check a few days later, and then the chat will be, you can load the chat and see the chat, the comments that played during the show. And sometimes I'll rewatch that. You guys are so hilarious. You get me going.
Can't slip anything past these guys.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, anyway, Chris, we said this earlier that if we run out of material to talk about, we will end it a little bit early. But let's think about, is there any other things you want to discuss, Chris, about? So anyway, this is the whole investigation matrix from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
So a great little graphic to learn by and to keep handy.
Step 3, pre-field planning.
Up, we have a caller. All right, let's see if we can get this person on. Hello, is that the mighty Mick?
Oh yeah, you got it.
Hey,
Harry.
Mick. Good to
How
hear
you
you,
doing?
man. Good to see you. Or, good to hear you. Good talking to you.
I'm just following up on a question that I posted earlier. That it probably missed you guys. But Steve, in your investigations, have you ever encountered anybody who was known to have chromesthesia, which is essentially the ability to, or they associate sounds with colors?
I can't say that I have. So that's interesting, but nah, I haven't. I've never thought to ask that.
It's something that I've always wondered about because obviously, the colors have different hues and tones.
Sure.
And so, when you put that with audio, which we can't really define with our ears, a visual representation is probably something that's more accurate.
Well, I mean, you can put audio in spectrograms.
Yeah.
Which will give you your visual representation, or even thermal spectrograms, which can.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And that's really important in all of those.
But from the perspective of the actual witness or the people who are actually saying that they've witnessed this, if they say, well, I have this condition, I can actually see sounds as colors, and this is the hue that I see, and they can actually present it. That might make an interesting way of
sure.
approaching it. But I mean, I'm sure it's very rare.
Yeah. I mean, everybody that most of the people that I've interviewed face to face are visual witnesses. They're not necessarily audio witnesses, because audio. Certainly when somebody says, hey, I've been hearing these screams up on the mountain, my response is, can you record some of them? And they never did. Mm-hmm. They've stopped or whatever. And to me, that can be mistaken so easily. I had one audio that came from a video, actually, of a Ring doorbell camera. And it was something on it, and I go, I know I've heard that. I know I've heard that before. And I said, maybe a fisher, and the person was like, nope, there's no fisher in the area. So I run it through my process, and guess where the signature came out to be as? A raccoon. So, and it was a raccoon making a very hellacious, angry noise, and I knew it was one of the smaller varmints that I've heard in the woods before. That's why I originally said fisher. Because believe it or not, I've seen more fisher in the wild than I have raccoons, which is really bizarre. But once in a while, I'm mulling through the forest, and I remember somebody was like, it was a Flatlander with me, and they were like, "What the hell is that?" I go, "Oh, that's a fisher," and they look like bigger weasels. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, I'll tell you something about raccoons. You go ahead, Greg, first.
I just wanted to say, it wouldn't surprise me if some people are reporting visualizing colors in connection with sound, because there's a certain frequencies around 18 or 19 hertz that resonates the same frequency as the eyeball. And that frequency that you're hearing, well, that's actually below your hearing range, but that frequency can resonate your eyeball, and that could definitely cause visualization of colors or other things. It could cause you to see things. It could
Quite
cause you to see
possibly, yeah.
gray areas, maybe colors. So I think it's highly possible. Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Steve, going back to your point about the raccoons, I used to live in a place that backed off onto a forest,
Sure.
and one night the landlord asked me to check out what was going on around back behind the house, and it was like literally this was a noise that you thought there were some nasty big beasts out there that were having some sort of face-off, and it turned out it was just raccoons.
Yeah.
But they sounded like they were like 600-pound beasts.
Yeah.
And I flashed my light in there. And as far as my light could go in there, it was raining very hard. I couldn't see squat.
No. It's really interesting. I've seen raccoons a few times. I was working up on in a federal reservation as a security and safety advisor to them. And I remember driving down to one of their outbuildings, and they had this little golf cart they used to collect garbage with. And as I stopped, there was this big, fattest raccoon in the back mulling through the garbage in the back of that thing. And it looked at me like, what in the hell? And it ambled on off. Well, about a month later, I'm driving up one of the side roads right near that particular outbuilding. And all of a sudden, here comes the raccoon again, but she's not huge. And she's being followed by 6 little ones. And the amazing thing is they mimicked exactly what she did. She stopped, she turned around, they all in unison stopped, turned around and looked at me. And I'm like literally 5 feet away from them out my driver's side door looking at them, and they're looking at me. And eventually they turned around and scooted away. But the other real cool thing was across the road from that outbuilding was, and still on the reservation, there were fox kits running around. Couldn't see the adults, but the fox kits, there was like 3 of them. They would come out onto the leveled grass and start sniffing around. So I would walk up there, and those little guys would come right up to me, sniff my shoes, and then run back into the forest. Or sniff my boots and then run back into the forest. They came right up to me. It was amazing. So yeah, it was.
They haven't learned the dangers of the human beings yet.
Yeah, they didn't know, but they were wise enough that if I had moved a little bit, they would gone. I didn't feed them. I didn't pet them. I wanted them to have that caution, but I was just amazed how close that I could get to one of those. So animals are weird because, I mean, just like a few months ago, I see this little chipmunk in my neighbor's yard, and he looked at me, and I was like, I sat down on the ground, and I was like, and next thing you know, he ran right up to me. I thought he was going to jump in my lap, but he turned around and he went back.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Chipmunk?
So anything else you got for us, Mick?
No. I'll actually clear the phones and let someone else call in if they can. Just one last thing before I let you go.
Sure, absolutely.
Stop waterboarding your interviewees, man.
I can't help it. Old habits are hard to break.
Oh no.
All right, brother. You take
Cheers.
care now. Have a good night. Cheers.
See you, Mick. Yeah, it's all that secret government training, waterboarding
Right.
and stuff. Yeah, we have to try to get over that. Stop doing that. We'll try, Mick. But Mick had a good point. You know, a lot of animals, they treat humans differently when they don't realize what a danger humans are to them. I could go over here to the Mammoth Cave National Park, and I can do this. I've done it, probably about 30, 40 times. I used to carry peppermint candy in my pocket. And I can get a deer to walk right up to me and take a peppermint candy out of my hand.
Oh, they love peppermint, don't they?
They love it. Yes, sir. They love it. And raccoons, same way. I would buy packs of those little vanilla wafer cookies. Oh, man. You will get a herd of buddies of raccoons if you have those wafers. They love them things.
You know, the only thing I got around in the house is a roll of Toblerone. Maybe I should try it with the Toblerone.
I don't know. But yeah, my uncle, back years and years ago, my uncle had a painting business, he's a remodeling business, and he got a contract to paint the motel over there at Mammoth Cave National Park. And of course, hey, I got hired on. It was good money, so I went over there and I helped paint. And there were all kind of deer hanging around the motel parking lot and stuff, and in the woods, they're at the edge of the woods. And I told him, I said, I'm gonna go pet one of them deer. He said, you ain't gonna pet that deer. I said, you watch this. So I walked up to the deer and I took out a piece of peppermint candy out of my pocket, put it out there in my hand, and that deer walked up to me. And he took that peppermint out of my hand, and I reached over and pet him right on top of the head.
It's amazing. Deers have incredible sniffers.
Yeah, they do. They
have that long snout.
They know. I mean, if you got a piece of peppermint candy in your pocket, buddy, you're going to have a new friend.
So I have a very funny deer story myself. I may have told this story before, but I was doing a surveillance, and I remember this very clearly in this neighborhood where a police officer was claiming he had an ankle injury.
Yeah.
And he had been out longer than they expected. He's claiming that, but all his medical appointments are coming back clear. The MRI is clear.
Right.
And he's been out for months, almost a year, on this ankle injury.
Right.
And before I got pictures of him jumping up and down off his boat and, cleaning his boat and running all around his property.
Oh, no.
Right. Yeah. He got terminated. No. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I got him. But I'm sitting there, and he lives near a very affluent area. And there was this mansion up on a hill, and it had this long driveway down to like this gated entry.
Yeah.
And outside the walls are these exquisite, beautiful flowered trees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just gorgeous. And I'm sitting there waiting for this guy to maybe take a drive. I already got him in his house. I don't want to keep sitting up in his house. I want to get him conducting business and doing other stuff around town.
Right.
Showing him that he's not limping. He's not walking with any age. He's walking normally. So I'm sitting there, and this deer comes out of nowhere and proceeds to eat every flower on that wall.
Oh, man.
And he's just enjoying his tail is going. He's eating every single flower, just moving one to the next, to the next, to the next. So the point was, by the end of the day, all the flowers have been stripped in the front of that property. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no. The deer had damaged the looks of their property. Oh, man.
Just looking at a bunch of stems sticking up from the ground. And off the blooms off the trees are all gone.
Oh, man.
But that deer went away feeling fat.
That's vandalizing. Well, you got to hate it when that happens to your rich neighbor, too, don't you?
I felt bad. I felt bad. At the same time, I felt very happy for the deer. He was getting a really good, sweet, delicious meal.
Well, of course, those flowers are going to be good to him. I guess it must be delicious. I don't know.
Nice and aromatic.
I've had dandelions before, but I don't know if I've eaten any of those. They sounded like magnolia flowers. I'm not certain. But
no, it's that
yet.
time.
Oh man, Well, this went by pretty quick. We did run out a little bit early, but, you know, things got better. Mick called in. Always good talking to Mick. And anybody else who wants to call, you know, next time. But thank you guys for hanging out with us on Sunday nights. We appreciate you. And this is only possible because of you. Steve and I always talk about this. We know we've got the greatest audience we could ever hope to have. And this show is only possible because of you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support and appreciate you hanging out with us. See you next time.
And folks, be sure to hit that thumbs up on the way out tonight. We really appreciate it. Help us with that crazy YouTube algorithm. We love you guys. You guys are the best. Like Chris said, we are not worthy to have so many of you guys. A lot of new people on board too. Welcome aboard. Great to have you here. All we ask is that if you're the last person out, shut the lights off. But anyway, have a great week, everyone. We will be coming back at you Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for our one of our hour-long shows. And who knows what will happen between now and then? We don't know. But we do know. We love you guys. And we wish you all the health and happiness during the week. Getting close to that Thanksgiving Day. But what can I say?
Turkey.
Be safe. Keep healthy. God bless. And of course, keep on squatching.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member. And it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.